Well, hello everybody. How are you doing today? I hope you guys are all doing well. We got a little surprise for y'all today. A little adventure, a little search. We're going to go try to find something, take you guys along with us today. Today we are headed back to the ghost town ruins of the old coal town of Cinderella, West Virginia. It's a place that has seen good times and its share of tragedy as well. It was a company town built around coal where families lived close in small company houses. Children grew up together and memories were made that lasted long after the mines went silent. And if you're from one of these little coal towns, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it was also a hard place, marked by deadly accidents underground and moments of real violence above ground. After our last video, we got emails asking the same question several times. Where is the Cinderella Cemetery? On paper, a cemetery is listed as being here, but on the ground and in the real world, it no longer exists. Records show only a handful of names. One is Emma Madeline Harvey, born October 24th in 1924, who died just 9 months later on August 16th in 1925 from tuberculosis. It was a reminder of just how fragile and difficult life was in the coal camps, especially for children. Another is John Sidnor, born November 15th in 1901, who worked as a coal miner and died in 1957 from emphysema and black lung disease, an illness that slowly took many miners, sometimes years after their last shift underground ended. Then there's Robert Phillips, born in 1895 in North Carolina, who was shot to death right here in Cinderella on June 2nd, 1935. His death certificate says that he was shot 4 times in the chest and face. So far, we've found no newspaper article explaining why or what happened, just the cold facts on paper and the fact that he was buried here somewhere. All of this raises another question. In the first video, we talked about the miners who died here in an underground fire and the extraordinary efforts to save them that ended in heartbreaking disaster. Men whose names don't appear on Find a Grave listings at all. It's like they just disappeared off the earth once the newspapers stopped talking about them. Could they be buried here too, in a cemetery that has been lost to time? We've tried all of the usual methods: records, old maps, online databases, satellite images, and so on. But we came up with absolutely zero answers to any of those questions. So today I am here in person again to see if we can finally put all of this right once and for all. After a detailed review of my satellite images and what information I did have about geographical locations here, I found several suspicious looking spots on Google Earth tucked into the hillsides. And I want to see if any of those may lead to the answers that I'm here to try and find. Maybe it's nothing. Or maybe, if we're lucky, I might find what's left of a historic cemetery that still holds the names of people who deserve for their lives and their sacrifices to be remembered. Now, I have zero clue what I'm going to find today. I honestly could not tell you. I've been up here. I found, when I came up the other time, I found, you know, old company buildings and stuff like that, several old roads. Found an old, what appeared to be a part of an old wood stove from a cabin. Several other things, you know, we did find some stuff. But I didn't go up the other trails because, to be honest with you, I had my little folding e-bike with me. And so, you know, I stayed to, you know, what I could do. Well, we brought the big gun today. I've got my Mach Wheel Obsidian 2.0, and we're going to go hit those hills again. I'm going to go take this puppy out, and we're going to go out, and I'm going to go see if I can't follow some of these trails and see if I can't find where this old graveyard might be. Now, it could be nothing from what I did find on one in particular, one satellite image in particular. I found what appears to be a gravestone approximately 5 to 6 feet tall. And that's just based on, believe it or not, that's based on its shadow. That's based on the shadow that it makes. And there appears to be at least a couple others nearby. Could this be a gas well? Possibly. Who knows? God only knows what's up there. I mean, literally, at this point, there's very few humans probably who could tell you what is actually up there. But we are going here in just a second. We're going to take the Mach Wheel and we are going to head up through there, and we're going to just go have us a good old time on this thing and see what we can find, and see if we can't put, like I said, put all of this stuff to bed once and for all. Fix all of the records. You know, I mean, you're talking about people who died, you know, just during the Depression, when coal powered America, you know, and the sacrifice that these people made, digging all this coal out of the ground and sending it around the country to be turned into heat and power and all this, and steel. You know, you can't make steel without coal. You have to have it. Anyway, they did all of this stuff, and they had a major hand in building the country that we live in today, the freedoms that we enjoy, the luxuries we have, and so on. So they deserve to be remembered, not completely forgotten. You know, their names just lost to time, and their graves, their sites, their stories just lost to time. And you know, that's what we do. We like to go find these old stories and tell you guys this stuff and show you these amazing old places. Like this building right here. This is the Cinderella School, as you can see right on the top, built in 1934. This was built originally to service the community of Cinderella, right up that way. Now, like I mentioned in the other video, they had a fire in what was called the fan house. They had ductwork that went down into the coal mine that blew fresh air down in there. A fire got started, and the ductwork was made from wood. So the wood catches fire, the coal catches fire, the whole place catches fire. The fan house is blowing all of this stuff down into the coal mine, right? So anyway, the mine, there's supposedly, you know, a big fire going on, all this. There's supposedly a spot off to the side about 1,000 yards or 1,000 feet from the entrance. Now, supposedly mine experts said that if they got to that spot, that they might be okay, that they could be fine. Well, they started bringing in all of these people. They had people coming in from Virginia, had special teams, you know, mine rescue, and just pulled out all of the stops and just bringing in everybody to try and get these guys out, to save these guys. Anyway, they had hope through the day, through that night, but the next morning that hope was dashed when they found the remaining coal miners in the mine dead. And so, you know, like I said, this is kind of a thing, you know, these people helped build the country that we live in and enjoy today, and I think they do deserve to be remembered. But anyway, I'm gonna, I guess, quit running my mouth here in a minute. I'm trying to get you guys all up to speed here. But anyway, like I said, I'll be taking the mock wheel out today. Now, she's a 1300 watt rear hub drive e-bike. Now this puppy will do, she'll do right real close to 30 mile an hour if you want to get, you know, if you want to get down to it. But I took this thing camping with me once. I've had it out one time. It's got like, I think 10 miles on it. That's it. But I took it camping, and I was camping about halfway up a mountain. Just wanted to try it out, see how it did. You know, they sent it to me to try it out and show it to you guys, right? I took off on the thing, wanted to see just how far it would get up the mountain. It made it all the way to the top, and then I turned around and went back down and went all the way to the bottom, and then came back up about halfway and got back to camp and still had a full battery, still had a full charge. So we should be okay today. I've got probably altogether I'll have about 5 miles of, you know, trails, real snow covered, you know, West Virginia wilderness, you know, really out there kind of trails. So yeah, it should be a fun day. You know, I like doing that kind of stuff, and I very much like to get out here and go look for this stuff. You know, if you've been watching the channel for a little while, you know how we get sometimes. Heather with her research and me with trying to find stuff. You know how we get sometimes. But
can I help you with something?
Oh no, I'll be right back, guys. Well, that was the assistant superintendent and the security guy. All right, guys, I guess it is time. Hello. Time to jump on the bike and go see what we can find. Wish me luck, and hopefully we won't freeze. Let's get my backpack out, get my coffee, load up, and hit the trails. We'll see you guys out there. Okay, we've got the GoPro mounted on the handlebars. I've got the backpack on, and the bike is set, and we are ready to go. I figure we'll go first off. We'll go check this little spot that he mentioned, because I have not seen any ruins up here, so we'll go find out. Ooh, it's nice and snowy. I need to raise my seat up. Hang on. My seat's too low. See if that's better. Now he said go up here and go to the left. That we'll find out, won't we? Right on up it. Okay, this one is a gas well. Answers that question. Let me turn my heat on. That's better. Wearing my heated hoodie. Get some heat going. Hear what tire tracks this thing's leaving. very crunchy snow. Just eating that trail up, ain't it? Branches and all. Well, that answers that. I found a gas well up here at the end of this trail. Not exactly what we were looking for, is it? Not exactly. Alright, let's flip around and head back down. Try to pay more attention to the sides, which I didn't see anything, but you never know. A lot of tracks too. A lot of animal tracks. Wheel just crushing its way through, ain't it? Trying to keep my eyes open to the sides. Don't see anything yet. Okay, I had to break out the gloves. Getting a little bit chilly on them fingers out there. But I went up the first one and didn't find anything up there but a gas well. And this right here, what you're looking at now, is the old road to go to the town of Cinderella, the old ghost town. It doesn't exist anymore. And the old company store is right up here on the right. But I figured I'd just turn the camera on and show you a little bit of this. Oh, might help if I turn the bike back on, huh? There we go. Now, try that again. The old company store. The entrance to the old town right there. And you can see, let me stop here. See that over there? You can see where the railroad bed was right up through there and came right straight up through here. Check that out. Old company store. One of the only buildings still standing. Two. One right behind it. That right there was the old company store. A little community place, you know. People kind of hung out and talked to their neighbors and stuff. Nowadays we stay on cell phones. Back then they hung out and actually talked to each other. There's a trail up here that turns off to the left that I want to check out, and another one on up that turns to the right. See all kinds of railroad ties. Where the railroad came up through here, just on both sides, all over the place. Take an eyeball around just a little bit here. The hood out of my eyes, out of my face, so I can see what I'm looking at. I went up the last time. Right up there is that old fan house, and we'll go up there in a minute. But first, right here is that other trail that I was looking at on Google Earth. Now like I said, I found several images of this that had what appeared to be a headstone. See a deer right up there. But we'll find out in a moment, won't we? We're gonna head on up there and see what we see. Now, this one's all uphill all the way. Huh. Rough shape. Another gas well. Had to pedal a little bit on that one. But I'm finding lots of gas wells. Well, this little spot right here from satellite was one of my prime suspects. I had two prime suspects for the graveyard. Nope, gas well. No graveyard yet. But we'll be coming up to the center of town right here in a minute. As soon as I get back down to the bottom of the hill and start to go back up to the left, we'll be right in the center of what used to be town. It's this now. But anyway, all right, let's flip around, go look some more. Down the hill. Wow, it climbed this thing. That's pretty impressive. It climbed that hill. In the snow, no less. Snow and weeds, brush, rocks. Still hard to get used to a left-handed throttle. I'm used to a twist on the right. Log, another log. Now right in here would be the center of town, right about here. Right back there is where I found that wood stove at the last time I was out here. But we're going to look on up, and there's a little road that I want to check and go back down the other side and see if I see anything down that way. But the old fan house where the fire started is just right up here on the right or left. Thorn to the face. Bad spot. No. That's a little too icy. Hang on. We're gonna walk through here. That's some icy stuff there. Up. Use the throttle. Let the bike push itself up the hill. Now, right over there is the fan house right there. Coal mine was directly above it. Right up there. That's where the accident happened. But all of this right here was literally the center of town. This was it. But there's something round I saw up here. So I don't know what it was, but we're gonna go find out, ain't we? We'll see what it was. Looked like something round on satellite. And that snow's pretty deep. Gotta look around a little bit. I see old phone poles and railroad ties, stuff like that all over. don't see, at least not yet, is a graveyard. Wait a minute. What's that? Okay. That's what's left of the old trail that went up to the mine entrance right over there. What was that? Look at that. Something raking in the snow. I don't know what that was. Kind of looks like the way turkeys will do, but I don't know. I see something over there, some old metal of some kind. You can see stuff up there too. Huh. Tricky one. Tricky one. There's a bridge here. There's a bridge. Concrete bridge there. The creek is frozen solid. Look at that. The creek is frozen solid. Oh. Trying to kind of eyeball to both sides as I go. I see a little road. Well, let's see. Maybe go on up first. Found a little road right there. Going back down that way. You can see I came up that way. Another one right there. We'll check that out in a minute. What we got over here? Got a big gully. For one thing. Wet one. Yeah, we'll ease through that and go on up. You can tell where pipes used to be in there. They've been removed. Ooh, that looks slippery, don't it? Let the bike climb itself up at. That looks suspicious, don't it? That looks very suspicious over there. But I got another one in mind. On up first. I was hoping there might have been something up here. I guess not though, huh? Don't look that way, does it? You can see stuff over there is cut out. It's just... Come on. Frozen waterfall. That's pretty, ain't it? That is very pretty. You can see an old tram road going up right there. Could easily have been part of it. Could be something later logging. Okay, we're back down to the forks. I just showed you one going that way, one going that way. Now, if I'm not mistaken, well, I know the mine was on this side. The coal mine was over there. And the fan house and all that stuff. Thinking that side would have been the residential area, you know, where the company houses and all that stuff were. But I was just thinking, could you imagine living out here 100 years ago in this? Could you just imagine? In this. Yeah, you got plenty coal, but that's about it. That's about all you got. You got tons of coal, but nothing else. All right, let's head down there, see what we see. Snow's a little deeper over here. Hello, I see something. Not what we want though. It's a blind. Somebody's hunting blind. Huh. Now, where'd the road go? Wow. You can't even tell where the road went. Alright, let's see if we can weasel around. Nice blind though. Very nice blind, isn't it? Alright, where we at? I think we've ran out of road here, ain't we? May have been another turn, because I know the residential district, the residential area, was on this side of the creek. So I'm gonna go back out and see if I can't find a way through to come down on this side. It ain't here, that's for sure. I'll say one thing. If I don't find any graveyard today, it's still gonna be quite the little adventure, isn't it? Thorn grabbed a hold of him. Snow's deep here, isn't it? 3 or 4 inches at least. Tough one. It's a tough one, y'all. Hard one to find. A lot of area. Hard graveyard to find. There's one here somewhere though. For all I know though, it could be, you know, back in the woods somewhere on a hillside someplace. Hard to say. We'll try. go by the... No, I didn't. Okay. You fall and break something out here, you're in a world of trouble. So we'll not play. Well, we're going to play on the bike, but not play with stuff like that. It's wild. Look at all those railroad ties. It's all over the place up here. Alright, dive in. Face first, the only way to do it, dive in. Well, I made it to the back of that little valley, but I don't think it's up this way, just because look at how the creek, how deep it is. You know, it's a possibility it could have worn out since then, you know, after the fact. It looks like might have been a trail going up that way, but it could just be the slope of the hill too. And I'm kind of thinking that considering where it runs off that tall mountain, this creek's probably been pretty steady for many years. So I highly doubt that it would be beyond here. But you know, realistically, you never really know. But you can't search the entire state. You know, you have to do what you can do. But I did notice right here, I don't know how well y'all can see this, the old phone pole with the busted wood stove is right over here, right over that little point, right off that little hill right there. But if you'll notice, there's a road. See how that comes up right here and goes right back out into here, into this flat. There was something here. There was definitely a cabin, office, some sort of building, because I can see ruins right over there. I came up through here a minute ago. You know how it is. You're out in the woods, you know, and you're all, you know, just kind of like so, just kind of creeping along, you know. I scared 2 deer. I was right over here. I think they were asleep. But you can see, like I said, you can tell that this has been, you know, it's leveled off. You know, you're not going to have a big level spot like this on the side of a mountain. I see some old tin or something over here. Looks like it may have been part of a shed of some kind, a building of some kind. Like I said, if I don't find anything today, it's still going to be quite the little adventure, ain't it? And I guess I already have found a little bit. You know, we found the 2 buildings. We know where quite a few of the ruins are now. There's definitely something back there. It's a fireplace or something? What is that? It's some kind of big fire pit. Smoker, maybe. Kind of looks like a smoker, don't it? Let's see. Get around this tree here. That's better. There's some tin here. Some kind of big pipe coming up out of the ground right there. I just noticed that. But look at that. That was something, wasn't it? That concrete ain't natural. Mother Nature don't do concrete between slabs of rocks like that. And she certainly don't do galvanized tin. This is something. We found some kind of ruin here. Something for sure. This was part of, one way or another, part of the old town of Cinderella. Ruins thereof. Wild, isn't it? Now what's this? Looks like a vent going down to a mine, but the mine's not supposed to be here. Hello? Yeah, it's deep. Hello? It goes down there a little ways. But this is not where the mine... Oh, I see. The mine was right up here. I'll bet you this is some sort of ventilation shaft for the mine. Huh. It's got something to do with it, don't it? And you can see a road. I just noticed that too. I'm in the right position to see it. You can see looks like an old road going right out through there. All right, so be it. Let's walk out through there, see what we see. Bike is way down there. somewhere down there. We're going this way right now. Okay, that trail does not lead to a graveyard. It is the back way to get up behind, to get to the coal mine. That's the old fan house right there. The coal mine is right there where that flat is. I didn't even notice this the last time I was up here. A fire hydrant just sitting there in the middle of the woods. Look at that. Middle of nowhere. Fire hydrant just sitting there. How weird is that? But that's the old fan house right there where the fire started and blew right into the mine. Wild, isn't it? Just think if these mountains could talk. You know, I was just thinking a minute ago, you know, kids, how kids are, you know, how they'll hide things, bury things, you know what I mean. I just wonder how many little treasures, you know, children during the day buried somewhere in through here that are still here. Maybe adults too. You know, we found a jar of coins. You've heard the old stories about hillbillies burying jars of money out in the woods behind their houses. You know, we found a jar of coins like that behind Devil Lance Hatfield's house once. So, you know, they really did do that stuff. But haven't found any jars filled with money today. At least not yet, anyway. There's some kind of piece of pipe, presumably the water, maybe, to the fire hydrant. Alright, let's see which way here. Down this side. Well, if nothing else, y'all, never let it be said that we won't try. Okay, now, that's that shaft right there, presumably air shaft. But that phone pole with the old wood stove is right down here. There's an old tire, look at that. That thing's been there a long time, ain't it? Probably 30s, 20s. Going back down, no, it's the same way I came up. Started to going back down a different way. This is there's my tracks right there. Alright, which way? Right there. Where was that old wood stove? Right in here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Right there by the, there's the phone pole. Right in front of me. Didn't even see it. There's that old wood stove laying on the ground right there. It was definitely a cabin of some sort right there, wasn't there? Wood stove still there. Even if nothing else is. Very thorny little place. Very thorny. Alright, let's head back down toward the bike. We'll see y'all down there. Okay, did not find a graveyard back there. Did find some interesting stuff though. Interesting. But we're going to head back down now and kind of watch to the left as we go and just see if I see any way of getting over there to the other side. But either way, we've had a good day. It's been a good day either way. We did find some stuff, told the story, told the names too, of the people that we're looking for. Sometimes your best is all you can do. There's a road going up. Something. Let's see how you get. Aha, right there. See something. Some kind of metal something. Looks like an old, I don't know, from here it looks like an air conditioner, but I'm sure it's not. Is that a stone? That looks like a headstone. I'll be right back. Okay, well, the thing that looked like some sort of big metal box turned out to be some sort of big metal box. The thing that I thought was a headstone turned out to be a regular stone. It's just shaped like a headstone right directly behind the box there. I also found like a big number 4 wash tub, galvanized right there, rusted out, and like an ash bucket, you know, from an old, like a coal stove, an ash bucket, partially, you know, well, obviously rusted, deteriorated over the years, but you can tell that it was still an ash bucket. But I don't know if I just happened to notice, I didn't notice this before. I can see a bridge right there, but the road is closed. It's completely overgrown on that upper end. I can't get in that way at all. So it could be over on that side of the creek where the residential area was, where you can't get to. Got that big creek down there, and yeah, I don't think I want to be messing with too much water today. Don't want to be getting wet out here in the middle of nowhere. That would not be a good idea. But anyway, I'm going to head down and kind of keep my eye out to the left. Keep my eye out to the right too. That was where I found all that stuff just now. So there was something up in there too. Imagine that, on that little hillside there was something. Okay. Alright, that away. Well, my hands aren't cold anymore. They were a little earlier. Fix my hood. Getting twisted. But my hands were cold earlier, but don't even notice it now. Let me get over here. Keep an eye on that left side. Look as I go. You can see, if you look, you can see a road going right up through that way, heading right up toward that bridge. Problem is, you can't get over there. The bridge down at the other end is closed. That one's closed, completely overgrown. You can't really get over there. At least not without a high degree of difficulty. Anyway. Wow, I can see it. I can see the road right over there, but I don't see any headstones. Found a bunch of other ruins though. What's that? Oh, part of a bridge. There's the other bridge right there. There's definitely stuff over there. I'll see if I can't find a way to get over there or not. Be back. Well, looks like that's about as far as I can go that way. But even if I could get through the gate, you couldn't get the bike through there. I'm not even sure I could walk through there. I'd have to crawl just to get through. But yeah, it could be up there, but that's impassable. Look what I just came through to get here. Hang on, let me show y'all something. Get turned here. Check this out. What's this? Little bike is totally wicked, ain't it? That's the back side of the old company store right there. But you can imagine, you know, people back in the day, this was the hangout place where everybody came, you know, to do everything and catch their train and all that sort of thing. All right, moving on. Little bike's pretty wicked, ain't it? Kind of looking as I go, kind of eyeballing things. No luck though on the graveyard. We did find some really interesting stuff and had a really cool day doing it, but the graveyard I wanted to find hasn't been found, so that's a problem. But you never know. For all we know, they could be unmarked graves. They could just be, they could, for all I know, be buried underneath me right now, for all I know. All right, let's start heading on back down, I guess. It's starting to get a little bit late in the day. I better start heading back out of here. Well, we've made it back to the car. That's always a good thing, right? We didn't freeze to death in the woods at nighttime. So that's, I think that's good anyway. I think it's a good thing. But we are back down at the Cinderella school, and I guess we've pretty much done everything that is humanly possible. you know, to try to find this old graveyard. We found, you know, quite a few old ruins, you know, from the old town of Cinderella, both the last time and today. You know, found new stuff today, a whole bunch of new stuff today. But we didn't find the graveyard, unfortunately. But like I said, for all we know, they could be buried in unmarked graves just as easy. Back then, it was very common to use a wooden cross instead of a stone of some sort. A lot of people did that, you know, not just here, but pretty much everywhere. But we did, if nothing else, we gave it a real good shot, didn't we? We gave it a really good effort, if nothing else. But the bike did great, didn't it? That thing just ate those trails like popcorn. It just ate them up. I love it. But I guessed about 5 miles. I think I put about 6 on it today. Out roaming, you know, deep snow and weeds and over trees and rocks and everything else. And it just ate it right up like candy. It didn't have any issues whatsoever. Oh yeah, if anybody's curious, you know, maybe looking for something like that, Mach Wheel Obsidian 2.0 is what that one's called. They have another one too called an Onyx. It's a mid-drive, as the motor is right here as opposed to in the hub, and it gives you more torque. But yeah, I like this one. I like that puppy. She'll get there, won't she? She'll get there. Get you there in style too. Nice jumping style. But anyway, guys, I guess, like I said, I guess we've done just about all that we can do here today. We've brought you guys back out here and did our very best to try and find this old graveyard. We know that they're in there somewhere, someplace, somewhere. They are definitely in there. But it looks like some old lost graveyards are destined to stay that way. Unfortunately. It happens from time to time. You know, you can come out and do your very best. All of the research and geographical research, newspapers, old archives, satellite images, all sorts of things. You know, you can bring all those things to bear. And sometimes it still doesn't produce fruit. Sometimes the graveyard is just an unmarked graveyard, and the people in it are truly lost forever. Sad, ain't it? It's sad, you know, to know what these people did, what they went through, the lifestyle that they lived, and what they did, and then to just be lost to memory forever. Kind of a cold, cruel twist of fate, isn't it? But you'll have that from time to time. Fate will do that from time to time. Well, guys, I guess that's about all I can do here today. So I suppose it's just about time to load up and head on out and head on home. Anyway, guys, thank y'all very much for coming out here with me today, keeping me company. I know y'all weren't actually here, but somehow you were. Every one of you were with me. Anyway, guys, we'll see y'all next time. Y'all have a really good day. And I guess that's it. Hillbilly's out. See you guys next time on the next episode.